Hello, and welcome to Ruben Uncut. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I feel like everyone on the internet has already been talking about, but sometimes that's how it happens. You see, recently, a certain rant from a person who I actually don't know the name of has gone viral. For what, you may ask? Well, the answer is simple, and the answer is he's upset about pronouns in the video game Starfield, which, in my opinion, is a giant nothing burger. Now, I don't mean that the criticism he has received is nothing. I mean that I think his complaint is a waste of everyone's time. Let's see the rant. So here we meet this gentleman. I'm not going to make any snide remarks about his appearance because I am above that. But let's see what he has to say about a video game designed for a mass market.
I love more. Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my god, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us.
I'm just going to point out the fact that any video game set in the future or the past where we can understand the language that people are talking is modern daying us. I hate to tell you this, but language changes dramatically over hundreds of years, so anything set this far in the future, we would barely understand what these people were saying. To stop and focus on minutiae, things that relate to modern day and this video game is, of course, stupid.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit!
First of all, pronouns are not just Californian shit. Pronouns are a part of English. A fact that has been weirdly distorted by the right, who want to pretend like pronouns are new, I guess. Well, let's continue.
Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
Now, as you can see, the man is triggered, as the kids say today. Very emotional response to something that is nothing.
Can't see past our own fucking reflection.
Yes, because let's lay this. Okay, that line specifically is interesting because, and this is a fact, art is always a reflection of the time in which it is made, even if the art continues on. We don't think about the parts of Star Wars that were about the Cold War anymore because the Cold War is over.
That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda.
So, like, the fact that he's saying that Bethesda is the one that's narcissistic, but the game has a tiny detail that doesn't make him reflect himself is the complaint. Because the game no longer reflects his worldview, it's a problem. The idea that we can't have pronouns in the future is, of course, foolish and ridiculous.
A Western game company. Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no! Current fucking day!
Stupid.
Fuck off! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle! That's all you fucking are! And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired! You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit fucking crap single solitary fucking thing!
Motherfucker is seething. What he's talking about is also, what's the word? Stupid. And then he goes right back to playing it. And then he goes right back to playing it. Right back to playing it. Now, this is interesting for a number of reasons. First of all, now what I am told is that Starfield includes they, them pronouns, which I don't have a problem with. Now, my understanding is the game doesn't make a big deal about pronouns. You just get to choose them at some point and can change them in your character selection. The thing about this is a waste of time. His complaint is a waste of time. First of all, it's science fiction. The idea that non-binary people would be out of place in science fiction is, of course, stupid. After all, Star Trek itself has talked about alien races that have more than one sex, let alone genders. What about Deep Space Nine, where they have aliens, where the actual alien is like a weird thing that gets passed on from person to person, and that's where the human mind, well, not human, but their alien mind is. So people can go from having female sex to having male sex and back again. Anyone watch Deep Space Nine? It's a good show. It's a good show. Is he complaining about that in Deep Space Nine? Is he? He's not. Here's the other thing. Pronouns in character creation are typical in this genre. Typical. You have always gotten to choose a pronoun when playing this type of game. Open world RPGs where you can play and do whatever you want tend to run on the idea that you can be whoever you want. That's part of the immersion. He doesn't have to play as a they, them. And if he doesn't play as a they, them, where is it breaking his immersion? In the character creation screen? The least immersive part of any video game? What? What the fuck is he even talking about? If he's so mad at the game, why is he playing it more? If it's that disruptive to his gameplay experience, how can he continue? If I was playing a game that made me want to scream that much, I wouldn't still be playing it. So my question is he stupid? Is he grifting? Is he just lamely making content? Lord knows I know a lot about that. Apparently he has more to say, though. Because you see, he has done a response in terms of his little rant. Let's take a look at that. I haven't seen this. Let's take a look at this gentleman's room here. He's got what appear to be video games behind him and a lot of little mechas, or, robot suits, as they are known. Which implies to me that he watches anime. Now, I say this as a lover of anime, but nothing rots a man's brain like anime. It'll put some real dumb fucking ideas in your head. Ironically, gender ambiguity, very common in anime. Let's see what he's got to say.
Man has opinion about video game. Internet goes absolutely nuclear crazy about opinion on video game. Is this actually about opinion on video game? No, this has nothing to do with opinion on video game. This has everything to do with going after the far left sacred cow of gender ideology.
So let's address that right now. No one on the left believes in the concept of gender ideology. Gender ideology is something that has come into existence because the right wing needs something to call trans people that makes it okay to attack them. You see, in America, you can't attack a person for what they are. You can only attack them for what they think. So if gender is an ideology, you can attack that ideology. It's a loophole, a way around. Also, the reason that his video went viral is because it's a grown man screaming about a video game on the internet, like he is some crazed 2-year-old whose mother has just told him that he cannot have candy while in the grocery store.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. This Friday just gone, we had the early access release for Starfield. Some people are loving it. Some people, not so much. Me personally, after 25 hours or so into the game, I'm struggling. I'll just be completely honest. When you're in a built-up area, some of it graphically can look very nice indeed. The gameplay is solid enough when you're actually doing something, but that's half the problem. I've found the explorative nature of this game exceedingly dull and boring. I've found the characters not remotely engaging, and the dialogue has a lot to be desired.
As long as the credits keep rolling in, life's good.
But
that's not the worst line I've ever heard, but I have no real opinion on this game itself as I have not played it. I will say, I do think it's worth addressing that this is a Bethesda game, okay? Bethesda already let you choose your gender. The fact that they've added they, them to a science fiction title, not surprising. Currently, we have they, thems in our society. There is a very real possibility that they, thems will continue into the future. This is not an outlandish concept to put in this game.
having an opinion on the internet, well, heaven forbid anyone have one of those.
Heaven forbid anyone have a counter opinion to my opinion, and heaven forbid that they express those opinions at me as I have made myself public. Do you see how dumb and childish he is?
But this video isn't about that. I'm not going to treat you like you don't know what is actually going on. Towards the beginning of the game, the character...
Because if I was too specific about what I really believe, I might get banned for being a bigot.
To creation, we were greeted with a pronoun option. So very current day of Bethesda, because it...
All fucking games in this genre have fucking pronouns. Like, maybe they don't use the word pronoun, but that's what it is. Fucking Far Cry 5 had, you could play as a woman or a man. Being able to choose between these things, not unusual. And adding a they, them, not really a big deal.
It appears at some point during the last couple of years, Pete Hines seems to have forgotten what gender he is. Never mind.
How could he have forgotten it if he listed it in his bio? That implies he knows what it is. Did you think that through? Is this written? Because if this is written, is this written? Because if this is written, dude, get a writer.
So I went on a little bit of a rant to my streaming audience because I was unhappy with the fact that in every aspect of our entertainment today, we seem to be pulled out because the people creating it are more concerned with inserting current day into absolutely everything. But
oh my God. We literally have spent the last, 6 decades doing that. And honestly, it goes beyond that, okay? At one point, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, the comic book, was a reflection of the fucking 60s, early 70s. Batman, The Dark Knight Returns is a commentary on the 80s. Cultural and societal relevance is one of the main things baked into fiction. This idea that he is presenting now is him having zero media literacy. The X-Men was about civil rights. Star Wars was about the Cold War. Episode 1 names one of the bad guys after Newt Gingrich. The idea that this is a new thing is the type of thing that someone who has been asleep their entire lives would say. So either he is someone who cannot interpret media or look into why a media is the way that it is and has done zero research on mediums, or he is grifting for money.
Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fight.
I think he's just going to repeat himself there. We've heard that part.
Now, I edited that down a little bit because of brevity. There were some pauses that I took out. But this was tweeted out by Hassan Piker after Dan Vask.
What the fuck is happening?
Had put the video out and it went a tinge viral. And he says, this weird British guy, oh yeah, okay, fair enough, losing his mind over selecting pronouns in Starfield is the perfect demonstration for why we must bring back lobotomies. Well, Hassan...
Obviously, we should not bring back lobotomies. I think that Hassan is probably making a joke at this gentleman's expense.
At least they would be able to lobotomize me. You, however, I don't think they would actually find enough brain cells. And if you don't...
He is literally a middle schooler.
Don't know who this guy is, let me introduce you to him.
So...
Oh boy, I wonder how this will go.
You said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
Yeah.
And that other person that he was being interviewed by was his uncle, Chen Huger. Let's see what Chen Huger has to say about certain things, shall we?
If I were the ruler, the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, where you are pleasuring the animal. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. Now why? Why did that happen?
I don't know, Chen. Maybe...
Okay, I don't know what the context of that is, but the clip itself feels wildly out of context. And also, when Hassan says America deserved 9/11, he is probably referring to the fact that the America's creation of Osama bin Laden eventually led to 9/11. I mean, if you believe in consequences, it kind of makes sense. I don't really believe in the concept of deserves, which I'm not going to get into here. But I wish 9/11 didn't happen.
Maybe it had something to do with the, oh, I don't know, fucking animals part. What the hell is wrong with your family, dude? So needless to say that I'm pretty okay with having a conflicting opinion to somebody like Hassan. But this isn't just about...
This is a thing that everyone has to do when someone has a conflicting opinion of them. You got to think of a reason why you don't care about that person's opinion. I'm not even actually saying that's a bad thing. When all the, when on my YouTube channel, when all the angry Tim Pool fans decided to comment very mean things to me on my one of my Tim Pool videos, I honestly thought it was hilarious. Why? Because nothing they said was intelligent to me. But you know, if I didn't feel that way, maybe I'd be upset. It's important to be able to, you know, discredit people whose criticisms you can't handle. I'm mostly being facetious.
Pronouns, that's the disingenuous argument that people want to latch onto so that you don't talk about the gender ideology and the intersectionality that's been rammed into every single solitary...
What does this man think intersectionality means?
...facet of our entertainment, from video games to TV, film, comics, etc., etc.
Listen.
Oh, artists artists have progressive beliefs. That's totally new and not a thing that's always been true.
I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier.
Yes.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there.
You're a dude.
My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance.
Uh-huh.
The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place.
Yeah.
I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC...
Now, did I have that reaction because I'm a nasty, naughty transformophobia? No, I had that reaction because it was so obvious because we're dealing with current day gaming company. In actual fact, you could go far as to say we're dealing with current day entertainment.
This man is angry that there is a clone in a science fiction video game, and that the clone, though a woman, was cloned from a man. Now, I don't know if you know anything about genetic engineering, and I don't know if you know anything about how we form in the womb and how incredibly complicated that is. But this is actually not a weird idea, not even remotely. It's very possible that for whatever reason this person was cloned, their sex was not important to the purpose of their cloning. The method of cloning itself may even have contributed to the fact that they came out a woman, or it may have been a deliberate genetic experiment. You know, X-23 in the X-Men, they came out a woman, a girl really, even though they were a clone of Wolverine. Why'd they come out a girl then? Well, it's probably because the cloning method, as shown in the movie Logan, I don't know what the method was in the comics, it might be different, is that essentially the DNA was put into a woman's womb, meaning that the clone would go through the same types of chemical washes that occur to a fetus. And that is actually the part in which you're assigned your gender.
Quick edit here. I misspoke there, and I don't like the way it sounded. You are not assigned your gender in the womb. That literally doesn't make sense. Because assigned implies that someone decided it. But it was determined by chemical washes, which I should have said your sex is formed in the womb, not assigned your gender. That doesn't actually make sense.
So it actually makes a lot of sense that it could be possible, especially since even as a clone, she would have gained a lot of her DNA from the womb she was carried
in the West. Then we have the Act Man, a React channel that has 1.8 million subscribers, getting mad because a person reacted to a game. By the way, this person recently being cancelled, having his YouTube channel demonetized / pulled down because he was attacked for having an opinion about something and exercising his right to do so. Now, he's actually jumping on that bandwagon to attack somebody who is exercising their right to have an...
I don't know who this React Man is, I'll be honest. And I don't care. I don't care the poor argument for hypocrisy that he's trying to make. The reality is that your opinions will change the way, the opinions you express will change the way that people think about you. This is a natural part of being a human being. We have no way to deal with it.
An opinion. I guess turnaround is fair play, hey? Don't worry about the hypocrisy of it, dude. You do you.
Like I said, the fact that this man is quote unquote hypocritical changes nothing. Changes nothing. If a guy who steals cars calls you out for stealing a car, it does not change the fact that you stole a car. His hypocrisy in judging you is real, but you still stole the fucking car.
So his tweet starts off with gorilla-shaped man, which, by the way, I can't take any other way than a compliment in Silverback, baby.
Gorillas are weird looking and they have tiny penises. Fun fact about gorillas. They're very powerful in a masculine image, but gorillas naturally have small penises. Not huge penises at all.
Baby. On the verge of crying, we've already had to go into a lie because
he looked like he was going to cry. Maybe he didn't, but like the level of emotion he was expressing is the kind of level of emotion you would expect to lead up to crying.
You want to embellish your inverted commas argument. Shouty man, yes. Ranty man, yes. Angry man, yes. Crying, no. Just say it how it is. If you feel comfortable.
He didn't say that you were crying. He said you were on the verge of crying. Now, maybe you weren't, but in fairness, you looked like you were.
For his position, why lie? Because Starfield.
Not technically a lie. Being wrong about something is not technically a lie. And I'm not saying he wasn't on the verge of crying. I'm just saying that it would be acceptable to think he was.
Starfield lets you pick pronouns at the start of the game and then is never brought up again. Well, if it's never brought up again, why do you even have to pick the pronouns? And you would have a better point of argument here if the game allowed you to skip the pronoun nonsense. What are your pronouns? Skip. Because the game understands.
Well, maybe they just shouldn't have used the word pronouns. If Starfield had used a different word than pronouns, would this argument even exist? That's the real question.
Sounds that when you've picked the male character, you have male pronouns. And when you pick the female character, you have female pronouns.
First of all, let's not conflate sex and gender. Second of all, did you not play Cyberpunk? Remember Cyberpunk, the game where you could literally choose your fucking genitals? And then you could choose to be recognized as a man or a woman regardless of your genitals? Anybody remember that? That was a thing in Cyberpunk 2077. What did it change? Well, it changed your voice in the cutscenes. That's the main thing it changed. So you could have a penis and sound like a woman. I don't know. It's not it wasn't a great way of addressing the issue, but you know what? The openness of it is cool. And if you're literally just mad that they added they, them to the man, woman options, like, maybe you're a little bitch. Like that, why would that upset you? Why are you so angry about it? It's meaningless. It's practically a gesture.
Pronouns. So if it's never brought up again, what is the issue? What is the problem? Why is it
individual player immersion? Like that's the irony, is that this ability, and I haven't played the game, so I don't know how it actually works. I don't know if they never bring it up again. But like the exact thing you were talking about, player immersion. If there's someone who wants to play, if there's a non-binary person who wants to feel more like they are in the game, this would be a part of adding to their immersion, even if it's not really a core part of the game. Now, of course, anything that forces him to think about anything besides being a white man is going to pull him out of his immersion, because he's, at this point, trained his brain to recognize these patterns, because he wants to see these patterns, because these patterns justify his worldview. He wants to believe that everything is woke so that he can complain about everything being woke.
Even there, it's there to compel you to do so. It's there to compel you to participate in the gender.
Then just don't pick that one. Don't pick that one. Don't pick it if you don't want to pick it. Like, you're not. If you choose to pick he, him, you're not really being complicit. You are a he, him, I assume. Like, normally people who aren't he, hims don't complain about this shit.
Ideology that they've shoved into the game. But again, you're being.
It's like, here's the thing. They're literally It is a series known for, I'm sorry, Starfield's not a series yet. Bethesda is a company known for the amount of player choice that they give to gamers. It is literally the reason that a lot of people play games like Skyrim. Any of the Elder Scrolls. I don't know when they started letting you pick between being a man or a woman in the Elder Scrolls games. I could look it up, but a lot of them do. Fucking Pokemon nowadays lets you pick if you're a boy or a girl. And on top of that, even if you chose the boy body in the new Pokemon game, you can use any of the girls' haircuts. Yeah, I think that's badass. Literally, the game is giving players more discretion and freedom, and he's mad about it because it's freedom given to other people that he doesn't want to think about when he's doing his escapism.
Disingenuous because you're not even addressing the rest of the argument, which is the fact that this is shoved into all types and kinds of our...
It is a mainstream game. A mainstream game that has cost millions to produce is going to try and make themselves as accessible to audiences as possible. They don't just want your money. They want women's money and non-binary people's money. They want all the money because they need to cover the expense of what is surely a gigantically expensive video game. So yeah, they're going to make it as accessible as necessary. This is how the mainstream works. Any product that is intended for the mainstream is going to make itself as accessible to the largest number of people as it can. It's basic capitalism.
Entertainment here in the West, and this is simply a straw that broke the camel's back moment. So the person that says it doesn't matter, then...
If this broke your back, you are a bitch. A little whiny bitch.
Created another post because I guess it actually does matter. This time with a little 15-second video. Oh no, virgin Starfield hater with me. Oh no, I guess I'm a virgin again. Hey, good for me. Are you virgin shaming?
Is there evidence he's had sex with someone? I don't know anything about this man. Is there any evidence for it? I don't know.
Naughty. And
I would not have sex with this man. I mean, I'm not into dudes, but like if I was a woman or a gay dude, I would definitely not have sex with this man because he's a whiny bitch.
Then average Starfield enjoyer with, you know, Giga Chad, and the game's not even official release yet, but
I don't know who React Man is, but I don't really, I think the Giga Chad memes are, you know, a little red pilled, and I kind of think that's fucking stupid.
Worry about that. Look, this is what it is. I don't care about it. Love the game, criticize the game. It's all good to me. So the guy that said it doesn't matter then's created another post because I guess it really, really matters. But this time, folks, he got me. I got gotcha'd by him. So I wanted to see what the guy who screamed about pronouns in Starfield thought about the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, and I was not disappointed. The hypocrisy is prophetic. We'll get on to prophetic shortly, dude. So let's watch, shall we? I will not be berated, bullied, intimidated into not playing a game because you think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Boo fucking who? Man up! Fucking pronouns! Boo fucking who? Man up! Fucking gender ambiguity! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Fucking crap! Ideology into everything! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology, goes against your ideology, goes against your ideology. We can't see past our own fucking reflection!
I will be very interested to see if he understands the point that is being made in this video, or if he, you know, he's just gonna be like,
Agreed.
Yes, And what was I actually talking about? I was actually talking about buying Hogwarts Legacy and not boycotting it because I wouldn't bow down to the intersectional, woke, far left.
He wouldn't. He would literally, he defended a game based around ideology and then went on to complain about another ideology. Now, is his target consistently trans people? Yeah, it is. He's consistently targeting, but philosophically, he doesn't seem to understand. He is literally choosing sides while pretending to just be this guy that's annoyed, being like, oh, why is all this trans stuff in my face? Get out of here. Oh, I shouldn't have to deal with it. I don't want, because he doesn't want to feel that ideology, air quotes, in going around him. But the fact that other people might be offended by the ideas of another game, then he thinks they're the bitches if they were offended by something in a game that ideologically they disagree with. But here, he literally is defending himself from doing that thing. He did that exact thing. He freaked out about the ideology of a video game because it wasn't his. He mocked these people for feeling like they needed everything reflected back at them, and then attacked a game that didn't reflect him back at himself.
Ideological mob that wanted to cancel it because Harry Potter is made by J.K. Rowling. Somehow that is a gotcha. I played the game.
Yeah, no, he has no idea. He has no idea. Like, intellectually numb.
Just like I've sunk 25 hours so far into Starfield, I played Hogwarts Legacy and I enjoyed the gameplay and I enjoyed the story. Didn't prevent me from criticizing the barmaid, which was silly, or other aspects of little bits of wokeness or intersectionality that they put into the game. But I guess, once again, you don't actually need context. You just need gotchas. And one final...
Do you understand the context of the point they were making?
Thing. You mentioned prophetic. Let me just see what your last video up is. The dark side of reaction content. Holy shit. It looks like you're the walking embodiment of prophetic, dude. But I'll tell you what I did get from that clip. I got from it that I've lost a lot of weight since I did that video. And I'm really happy with the way that my weight loss journey's going. So cheers for doing a side-by-side.
No, yeah, he's got a complete force field between the rest of the world and his ego.
There, because that just kind of spurs me on to keep going and do better. Here's just a little cautionary tale for you. Remember Volition? Volition, the game studio that took over the reboot of Saints Row. Volition, the same company that attacked fans of the old Saints Row games because they said that was outdated and it was no longer acceptable and their game was gonna be for a modern audience. Volition, who are now out of business because the game flopped massively. Things like this.
I don't think, I mean, honestly, whether or not they made Saints Row more politically correct, I don't think it's going to change much of the gameplay. I haven't played any of, that's not true. I've played that one Saints Row game where you go to hell. But I haven't played any of the other ones. I don't care what he's talking about here, actually.
Can happen. Chip away at people like Chinese torture and eventually...
Like, this assumes that the game didn't have other problems. From the reviews I've read for that game, I feel like it had other problems.
Actually, they'll crack, or they'll have a straw that broke the donkey's back moment, and they'll stop supporting...
That's called having a freak out, man. You had a freak out. You gotta calm down. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're just a tiny little bald baby. Let's swaddle you up in a nice big warm blanket of only seeing your own reflection all the time.
in your games. But this isn't about pronouns. It never has been. It's
Then why did you make it seem like it was?
about everything. Every single solitary person that's saying, well, it doesn't matter, only says it doesn't matter when it's been inserted into their entertainment, when it's been inserted into their TV, film, comics, video games, then they can turn around.
Once again, this is just him having zero like understanding of media literacy and like zero understanding of like media history. Like the fact that he doesn't understand this concept, it makes him completely, this man should not be commenting on culture whatsoever. Like he's just I'm trying to think of a creative way to say that he's a fat stupid baby. Oh no, I don't want to call him fat. That's mean. But he is a dumb baby. He's a whiny, there we go. Whiny baby. He's a whiny baby. I'm not here to shame people for their bodies, just their terrible ideas.
And go, well, it doesn't matter. But if any of it was removed, taken away, just you watch them spurg, get triggered as much as I did when I...
There's so many games that don't have the inclusion. And no one's complaining about it. What do you mean, take it away? Like, can you be more specific? Are you saying if we made a society that where zero trans people and non-binary people were ever reflected in the media, that they would complain about that? Because I'm going to let you in a secret. That is a reason to complain. That is a reason to complain. That misunderstands the value of the media. That would be a society where those people actively did not feel welcome in it, because that's the idea. It's not about including everybody. It's about making sure people understand that they are welcome. So that's a thing that representation does. It makes it safer for those types of people to be in the world. If the media never reflected them, then people who met them with zero context, it would always be a shock, and it would always be a higher chance that they would reject the people.
I just get sick and tired of seeing this rammed into everything. Look how Disney are performing right now. Disney Marvel failing miserably.
Are we gonna go woke, go broke here? Which, by the way, go woke, go broke is bullshit. It's literally just a cherry picking of things that fail that they can attach that claim to.
Disney live action films failing miserably.
In fairness, most people are pretty fucking sick of Disney live action remakes. Let's be honest about that. Like, honestly, Little Mermaid is one of the better ones, and people are still fucking sick of those. Especially since apparently the Pinocchio one is an abomination.
Indiana Jones failing miserably.
Indiana Jones was awesome. I'm just gonna say that. Honestly, that movie probably failed more because of franchise fatigue, and also because it's been so long since the previous one, and it wasn't directed by Steven Spielberg, and there was a lot of negative media leading up to its release, and the box office has not. Barbie and Super Mario Brothers are really the only signs of our movie box offices recovering. A few years ago, there were multi-billion-dollar movies in 1 year. This year, we got 2.
They are failing and failing and failing due to the fact they are ramming in.
There are so many complicated reasons why Hollywood is failing. This is just a narrative that is part of his grift.
Current day, and current day is turning.
When people say current day, what they mean is contemporary audiences. Because the goal of, because unfortunately, the way that producers think is the idea that you need to get that audience, the audience of today. Because in producers' minds, things are constantly changing, and hip things are always shifting. And movies are typically actually behind the curve of what is cool and hip. So it's a constant game of catch up. But like, this is normal and it's always been this way.
Customers off, and they've been doing it for so long now and ramming it down all.
Why do you think Hollywood makes less Christian movies than they used to? You may not remember this, but into the 90s, Christianity in movies was very common. Do you think it's because a lot of Americans stopped going to church? It's probably that. Movies and medias that we absorb want to reflect the population that they're trying to sell to. This is all very normal. And he's just a whiny baby.
Our throats that even regular people are beginning to wake.
How old are you? How old are you? I don't know. I'm guessing this man is a millennial. I don't know if he's in his 30s. I don't know if he's in his 40s. But like, he does not represent the youth. He is not going to have answers for why the youth do or do not absorb media.
Up, which is very different from being woke. Not only that, they're now starting to laugh at it and mock it as it should be mocked, as we see an image, of course, from the upcoming Snow Brown and the 7 Seattle baristas coming.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking tired of hearing about this Snow White movie. She's not even that fucking brown, people. Like, the colorism is disgusting. I don't know how I feel about what they're doing with the dwarves. I don't think this is what Peter Dinklage meant when he said he wanted the dwarves to be better represented in media. But I also haven't seen the movie, so I have no opinion on it. Having an opinion on a movie before you see it is dumb.
Next year to flop majorly for Disney. Another fairy tale sacrificed on the altar of intersectionality. I don't care.
What does he think the word intersectionality means? What does he think it means? Because the word okay, here's a rough translation of what intersectionality means. Intersectionality basically means that people tend to have more than one thing that affects them in their lives. Like, you could be a woman who is a lesbian, so that's intersectional. There are things that those people face in society, so that's an overlap right there. But you could also be a Black woman lesbian. There's a bigger one. You could be a Black trans woman lesbian. That's more multiple intersections. That's what intersectionality is about. I'm probably doing dog shit way of explaining it, but what he is referring to as intersectionality he does not know what the word means.
What you want to call yourself the king of Kathmandu for all I give a shit, and give yourself the pronouns of Tweedledum and Tweedledee. That's your...
Doesn't understand pronouns. Sad. Literacy in the English language is dead.
Prerogative to do. I just don't need to play your game. And that's where we have the...
You're right, you don't need to play that game.
Butting of heads, because you feel that I do need to play your game.
I don't know if anyone has said that. Who is telling you you need to play Starfield? People are making fun of you because you looked like a little bitch on the internet. They're not making fun of you. Like, what do you think is happening right now? Wild.
You want to compel me to play your game. You want to...
Who's compelling you? Do you mean that they want to sell the game? What are we talking about?
Legalize it so I play your game. And by game, of course, I mean gender ideology. Unlike the mob that went...
Okay, that's confusing, bro, because I thought you meant when you say play my game, you meant the fucking video game. Oh my God, is this scripted? Do you write these? Because I don't write mine. You seem like you write yours, maybe. And if you're writing these, you should get an editor.
After J.K. Rowling, I'm not telling anyone not to buy a video game. If you're curious and you want to play it, buy it. Try it out for yourself.
Literally, that's what reviews are, telling people to buy or not buy something. We've had it for decades now for video games.
See what you think. Some of you will like it, Probably some of you won't like it. That's the nature of the beast. But I'm more than entitled to express my own opinion.
But could you have expressed it while not looking like a bitch? Because, like, you seemed like a bitch.
On the fact that I am sick and tired of seeing current day shoved into every facet of our entertainment, television, film, video games, comics, etc., etc.
I can't repeat how ignorant this perception of media is enough times, apparently. He doesn't. He has no conception, or he's lying. He either has no knowledge or he's lying about the knowledge he has. Absolutely absurd.
In a few days' time, this will all blow over. Such is the nature of today's social media, as people's
That is the most fair thing he has said in the entire video. People probably will forget this.
attention will be focused.
Hell, my video is probably my episode of my podcast probably coming out way too late. I probably missed the bandwagon. Probably gonna get like, probably not gonna boost my algorithm at all. Probably too late. He's probably already been forgotten
elsewhere, and my 15 minutes of Twitter fame will come to an end. But what
I thought you have like 300,000 followers or something. Like, you're technically famous.
What won't come to an end is the people that saw the video and said to themselves, yes, that's the way I've been feeling. Yes, I've been seeing this for
your feelings. This is a very feminine argument you're making, man. White dudes and their feelings, man. We're little bitches.
For a while now. Thank goodness there are other people out there that are feeling the same way that I'm feeling. And because of that, they've found my channel. And because of that, they will find other people's channels as well that they can go and listen to.
Oof. Basically admitting to being part of a radicalization pipeline.
To their points of view, their opinions, and understand that they're not alone in this, and more voices will be brought.
Everyone has an opinion. You know, some of them are bad.
To the table to push back from this utter nonsense that we've been.
And what do you mean by that? What do you mean by pushback?
Seeing. And a huge thank you to all of you for the outpouring of support. Your voices are and will be heard. And I'll see you in the next video. You take care.
So that's his response, I guess. I'm a little bit confused because it plays like a response to that, and he even references it, but you know. Very interesting. Let's take it. You know what? Let's take a quick gander at his comments section, because I already see the first one is stupid. I can guarantee, let's see here, the Coda Bear 3662, I can guarantee 99% of people have never been approached by a stranger and asked their pronouns. Really? Where are you getting those numbers? Also, I've had strangers ask me for my pronouns before, so apparently I'm part of the 1%. Imagine a game. Now, this person I assume is making fun of the man. Earlin68. Imagine a game where if you create a male character, it immediately assumes your pronouns are he, him. And if you create a female, it assumes they are he, she, her. But you leave people the option to change it if they so choose. What has the world come to? See, in my mind, that reads sarcastically, but who knows? Who knows what this person believes? Him shouting pronouns is my favorite soundboard button now. Lamau. I don't know what this one means. It's just a hat saying this pisses me off so much because they know people were hospitalized because of a hat? What the fuck does that mean? Is that a new dog whistle? What a... Okay, I'm gonna leave a comment here. What a... What a whiny baby, man. I wonder if I wonder if YouTube will stop this comment. Huh. Seems to have gone through. Excellent. So, like I was saying, this is a man choking to death on a nothing burger. Because it is a nothing burger. This is a nothing burger. This is meaningless. This has no meaning. This is an overcomplication of a simple matter of fact. This man made a video where he lost his fucking mind, and everyone made fun of him for it. It's not surprising. Also, because it's dumb. It's not like he's mad about a game-breaking bug. It's not like he's mad about a gameplay feature that actively frustrates or keeps him from engaging with the game. No, he's mad about character customization. One of the dumbest things in video games. I know. I'm in the minority on that one because I don't give a shit who I'm playing as in a video game. I just want it to go, 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 go. But here we are. Customization is very important to some people. Not to me. Don't care. The car gets me to work. That's all that matters to me. But some people, it's very important what that car looks like. And if that car has pronouns. By the way, people give their cars pronouns. And we don't question it. We've never questioned it. Have you ever noticed that? We've never questioned giving cars pronouns, even though they have no genitals. No genitals at all on a car. Hell, there's not even such a thing as a male or female car. They're just cars. And this is just a video game with character customization that just happens to have a level of customization that makes sense for this time and place. You have to understand, the way we interact with the game itself is going to be part of this time and place. Like, if you go back and play old video games, the number of quality of life adjustments to gameplay over the decades is monumental. I went back and I played Harvest Moon 64 and I was like, oh my God, this is so slow compared to Stardew Valley. And then I went back and played the Super Nintendo. I played the Super Nintendo version of Harvest Moon. And my immediate thought was, I could only carry 2 items? What the fuck? But Harvest Moon 64, I had a backpack. So as games progress, we extend the user interface. We expand on it conceptually. That's all that's happening here. That's literally all that's happening here. If you can't get over the pronouns and the character customization, then I don't know what to tell you, man. It's ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Really ridiculous. All right, well, thank you for listening to me talk about this big old nothing burger. I hope you at least enjoyed yourself. Please like and subscribe or follow wherever you are listening. Hopefully that's on Spotify or YouTube, because those are apparently the big ones I have to get people on. I'm still pretty spicy at Spotify, who just as I make it over their previous level for ad monetization, they bump it up. They literally bump up the numbers I need to hit by 10. Wait. By 10. By 10. Went from 100 to 1,000. Now that I'm hitting regularly an audience of over 100 people, now I can't make money. Now I have to get to 1,000. Love you, Spotify, you flaming dicks. Anyways, thank you for listening or watching. Please like and subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. You can email the show at rubenuncut@gmail.com. Have a wonderful whatever, no matter your pronoun.